Welcome to the Hidden Driveway Show. I'm your host, Amu, and join me today we have a very special guest, Quare. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Guer. I'm a very special guest, apparently. Um, I don't really know how to fucking describe myself. I mean, I'm a musician. That's kind of my thing. Like, that's like all I do with my fucking life is I make music, and like everything ever in my life revolves around music in some way or another. So,
Well, I mean, I interview musicians on here, so that would make sense that you do music.
yeah.
But it's pretty cool music, pretty good music, I would
hmm
say. That I think, if you're
I'm
watching
I'm
this,
not
you
really
should listen
sure how
to it.
to. Yeah, like if you don't know my music, I'm not really sure how to fucking describe it to you. Um. My friends have described it as, I think if you know Cass, I
Mm-hmm.
think she said eclectic as fuck. I thought that was a cool description, and it made me look up a new word. I learned a new word from Cass, so shout out to Cass. Which I think, let me just look up the definition right now, actually. Eclectic, deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. So that's kind of me, I guess. I do a bit of this, but then I also do a bit of that, and I just have fun with it. So
Yeah. We'll talk about that more in a bit, because that is a very big thing with your music, where I feel like you had,
yeah.
we've also just shifted your sound a lot, like, over time. But then recently you, did something and then went
Mhm.
back, which I think is cool. But to get us started, is there
Yeah. I
anything you'd
I
like
can
to talk
never.
about? Just anything on your mind right now?
I'm kind of hyped right now for a couple reasons. Which is very good because like that's the kind of energy I want to bring into an interview. But well, first of all, we're recording this on the day that fucking Revenge Seekers
Mm-hmm.
dropped, which I'm sure you listened to that already. That shit is fucking insane. Which, I mean, obviously it was going to be, but like it's still like I'm so happy about that. And also, my extracurricular shit is kind of racking up. I'm in the local jazz group at our school. I'm in theater. I also do marching band, but the season's over now, so I'm a senior, so I can't go back, which I'm very sad about. But yeah, so I'm very excited about the musical that's going on at my school, the jazz stuff that we're doing. Yeah, I mean I wasn't kidding when like I said I dedicate a lot of my time to music. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
super involved in the theater or music program at our school, and that's like pretty much like my life outside of being online. It's just like that shit. So.
Yeah, I guess what were your thoughts on Revenge Seekers? Because I feel like I liked it, but there's something that's keeping me from liking it as much as I feel like I should be, if that
Really?
makes sense.
I'm curious on what you mean by that because like I'm not really sure I see what you're saying.
It's just it's really good, right? But I feel like all the tracks kind of blend together, and that's never been an issue that I've had with their music
Uh,
before this one.
I mean I guess, but like I have a pretty easy time like differentiating the tracks, and I feel like they have a lot of unique sounds to them. I don't know. I mean I guess you and I might see things a little differently, but yeah, I mean for me like I press play and that shit like hit
Mm-hmm.
instantly. Um, yeah, I guess maybe there were some moments that kind of felt flat a little bit, like, like, oh yeah, you kind of done this already. But like generally,
That's kind of what I mean.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's good, but it's
but
it's just hard bangers, the whole album pretty much, which is not a bad thing whatsoever. But I feel like live
mm,
to be really good. But it's I feel like usually
yeah.
there's just way more variation and the sounds and whatever of what she's doing.
Well, I think like obviously it's like the concept is all just fucking hard bangers, but then like I feel like she makes a different kind of hard banger each time. Like maybe there's one at this tempo and it has like this kind of fucking groove, and then this one maybe has like this little melodic element and it has like this kind of vibe, and there's just maybe a little micro genre of fucking this or that. And
Mm-hmm.
then this song is like more I don't know. But like I feel like each song kind of has its own variation and its own little character, in my opinion.
Do you have
So
a
I mean,
favorite? I know it just came out, so you might not have that
dude,
formed yet,
honestly, I,
but
I I think the one I've been listening to the most right now is Star People. That shit is like, and it's got that like clap thing. I was like, that, 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 that.
I feel the really fast
And
hi
like
hat.
I fucking love, yeah, and then that like that fucking hi-hat in the background is fucking crazy. Yeah, it's just like when you hear shit like that, you're just like, is she allowed to do that? but it's like it fucking works. Like it, yeah.
Yeah. I was also really surprised at how well like JR worked as an outro. Because when I first saw that, I was kind of confused, but like hearing it like in context, it fits really good.
I'm not sure if I agree with JR being the outro, honestly, but I mean, I have been kind of listening to it all day, but like also I'm still not like the most accustomed to it. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this album might even grow on me like even more. So we'll see. I mean, this is like I could see it becoming like my favorite Rage project, fucking digicore, wherever I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you'd call it digicore, but like whatever you want to fucking call that kind of music, that's probably like my favorite project of that type of music
Yeah.
for sure.
It's like digicore on like steroids, pretty much.
Yeah, which I fucking love. Like I feel like that type of music, like you could never be hype enough. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I mean, we've done a lot of stuff like that too, actually, which brings me to a good point. Because I first became aware of you last year when I was getting into Ruby Red. Because on Business Casual,
Mhm.
you produced like a good portion of that, and then you were featured on Through the Air, also. It's one of my favorites. So after I got out of my phase of like listening to like Business Casual like nonstop, because that was my favorite album of the year for like a good while until Wick Era dropped. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, but
Wicker is like that was honestly a big inspiration for Bitverse, but we'll get to that later.
mm,
Anyway,
yeah. So since then though, I've had the chance to dive into your work, and it's really interesting like going back and looking at like the journey you've been on. Because I look back at your SoundCloud and your YouTube channel, you have stuff from like 2019 where it's just like some
uh,
instrumental hip hop stuff that I'm sure I don't know how you feel about those now, but I feel like a lot of people are making stuff like that when they were like first starting out. And then there's like some EDM stuff also. But I feel like those have kind of translated into like what you're doing now a little bit.
yeah.
It's just like way more like ramped up from what it was before. I think it's cool that since then you've also like found your voice as both like a rapper and like a vocalist just in general, because it
Mhm.
was all instrumental before, and then you're doing some like indietronica stuff now too. So given that you've all these different things going on, pretty eclectic, I would say.
Yeah.
How did you first get into making music, and who are some of your biggest influences for it?
Holy shit. Okay. We're taking it just back to the fucking beginning. Let's start with when I was 8 years old. My brother was playing Geometry Dash. I'm like, wait, this game seems kind of fucking cool. I'm gonna go download it. I'm gonna play it. So I started playing it. That was kind of my thing for the next like 3, 4 years, I think. Like I would just play that shit nonstop. And in doing so, because like psychologically, I think that's like around the time your brain starts to develop like your main like taste in music. I don't really know, like I think I saw a statistic somewhere like your favorite kind of music is kind of set in stone by the time you're like a teenager or something
So it's
ish,
like 14
which is
or
very interesting.
16, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like my taste in music started to develop because I was just exposed to electronic shit like constantly all the time. Which leads me to when I was around 11-ish years old. My buddy was taking piano lessons. I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna take those too." So I started getting kind of exposed to sheet music and like just notes and how they relate to each other and stuff like that. And kind of at the same time, I started watching like FL Studio production video shit. At the time, like just because of how much I listen to the music, and I think I have like a just a musical intuition or like I don't know what the fuck it is, but like I've just always had melodies playing in my head like as long as I can remember. I just think of melodies and it fucking cycled through my head. But I never thought I'd actually be a musician. I think like the reason my brain always worked like that is because like I don't know, a lot of people in my family like are have done music in the past. So it's just like a hereditary thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I started getting into EDM, fucking internet stuff. I'll give a name drop here. If you know CSX42, it was CSX42 Gaming at the time. That was one of the artists I found through Geometry Dash, and I watched like his like FL Studio like streams, and that was one of the first things that like exposed me to music production as like a concept. I'm like, dude, this looks so fucking cool, but I don't understand any of it, and it's really intimidating. But like, I also really think it's really cool, and I'm interested by it. So fast forward a few months, my birthday comes, I turn 12, I get birthday money because people don't know what to get me, so they just give me money. And then I decided I'm gonna buy FL Studio. So I bought FL Studio, and I was trying to make EDM music, but my beats kind of fucking sucked because I was trying to do something I didn't know how to do. So that leads me to my roots, which is kind of like trap music. It was around this time where I started branching out. I just stopped listening to EDM. I was one of those annoying kids that's like, oh, dude, EDM is like the best music ever, and literally any other music is so inferior. Pop music is so lame. All this shit is so lame. I don't like any of this music except EDM. EDM is where it's at, and this is the future music. But eventually I branched out more. I started listening to like more trap centric beat stuff and kind of opened my mind to that kind of side of things a little bit. And I think that definitely helped me like grow as a musician and expand my palette a bit. So I started making like just like trap beats and stuff. And that gave me a really good like technical experience with FL. I would just push buttons and do shit until it kind of just clicked in my mind. I think learning music and learning how to produce music is not like I don't think you can do that quickly. Like developing your own style as an artist is just something that's hard to do. And it takes time.
Yeah.
People told me like, "Oh, dude, like you've been like really good at this shit for a while." And it's like, have I though? Because like I don't know. I listen to my older shit. I'm like, dude, I did not understand like this and this and this like, and I can always see like my improvement and how I've developed my style. So
Like, well, what do you
yeah,
count as like older stuff? Is this stuff that's not like pre like streaming stuff, or is
this
it like
I pre-streaming pre vocals I think, but honestly like even older than that like I have shit that I just never put out like 2018 2019. It was just like beat stuff. Yeah. So kind of imagine like I think I called it the Quare collection. I just put a bunch of singles and then I kind of put it all as one thing or like whole. Those were all like beat tape stuff.
mm-hmm.
But like before that, like I was like a year or two before that, like all the music I was making was like kind of butt.
I mean, you were what like 12, 13 at the time though? Like that's pretty like especially for then, like that's how it goes though. Like I was making really awful like garage band music around the same time. So it's
Yeah,
like a rite of
yeah,
passage almost.
yeah. I mean, that's what you have to do if you want to get good at this shit. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like people kind of forget that now because now it's so normalized that you have like 13-year-olds making like crazy stuff. And it's like, yes, but like you shouldn't
Bro.
expect to be that person.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of influences though, because you do cover so many different like styles, who would you say are some of like the top ones?
I think I started out with like, well, like my EDM influences were like Virtual Riot or like CSX42 or fucking Haywire, like that kind of lane of shit. And then like I got into more like I listened to a lot of Juice World actually, which I think when you think about it, like that it kind of makes sense
Mm-hmm.
like with where I am now. Or like Post Malone, like good era Post Malone. I don't like this the stuff he's doing now, but like Beer Bongs and Bentleys, like that shit was peak. Like that was like where it was at the time. Um, Joji, that kind of shit. That's kind of what. So now we're moving a few years further, and then like my friend put me on to like, well, what? Like I was trying to in my mind, I was thinking like, dude, I love like EDM shit. I love trap shit. How do you like combine these two? And then I got put on to 100 gex. I'm like, oh great, so this is like what I basically want to do this whole fucking time, and I didn't even know it existed. Um, so like 100 gex existed, and then like COVID hit. It was like digicore, hyper pop shit all over the place on the internet, and I just got really like obsessed with that, and I just started making music kind of like that. So that I feel like that kind of leads me to that's kind of my roots.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've just kind of gradually branched out more and more with like the digicore shit and like kind of like indie and like rock and like folk shit. Like, yeah, just expanding my palette of like genres and things like that. But those are definitely like my roots for sure.
Yeah, and then it's Quadeca one because that's what I thought, and I saw that you went to his show like a while back.
Oh,
So
yeah, no, Quebec is definitely one. I listened to Voice Memos when it dropped. I was like I mean, I'm not gonna say day one Quebec fan, but like I put all my friends on a Quebec. I'm like, dude, you have to listen to this shit. And like Voice Memos was low key ass looking back, but there were some heaters. And then like when From Me to You dropped, I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. I knew he had it in him, and he's just gotten better from there. So yeah,
yeah, I forget. I can't think that's funny off the top of my head, but it's like the third to last song on Paris, I think. And I was like, oh, this is
Mhm.
like so fantasy world.
Oh yeah, the title track, that shit was so I was thinking between Fantasy World and Aberdeen Dream Sequence by
Mm-hmm.
Venturing. Like those were it was pretty much just that, those two songs combined, and that's like it. And then like a fucking choral piece at the end.
Yeah, I think it's a great guy to take influence from though, just because like especially now, like he just does like literally everything. So like you were saying, it just like
Yeah.
fits in that like super eclectic like sound.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm definitely similar in that sense, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah. Um. So as I was going through your work, I realized that there was a very consistent group of people that you work with, just because on top of your solo stuff, you're also part of FISHGANG, which features members like
Hell yeah.
Amai, Paction, and Ruby Red, who have actually interviewed before. So how did you first get involved with that group, and how do you say it's impacted your music?
Man, okay. Fish Gang. We started out like as just a group of friends, like a lot of us met from Geometry Dash, actually. That's kind of where we started from. And then we all realized we had a like collective interest in making music. I don't know how, but that's just how it worked out. We're like literally every single one of us wanted to make music. We wanted to be musicians. So we would just like we would make music, we'd give each other feedback, we would collaborate constantly. And that's kind of how I got my start. I definitely would not be here without Fish King for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, in terms of how it's like impacted your music.
I don't know, like just like having like friends there that will tell me like, oh yeah, this is like this is cool, or like maybe you could do this differently, and just getting their perspective and seeing their progression in music, I think also has really been cool to see, and has kind of impacted how I see my creative process and stuff like that. I think collaboration in general is just like there's people out here who like want to do all types of shit by completely by themselves, and it's like, yeah, but like I feel like the more perspectives you can get and the more like minds and brains on your project that you can, I feel like that kind of maximizes your, I don't know, artistic achievement. Like I feel like you can do more cool shit if you interact with people more.
Yeah. Plus, it's just like because everyone has their own style and own influences, and it's like
Mhm.
you'll never get the same result from like the different people.
Yeah, I think that's what's so fucking awesome about like collaborating. And I think having a close circle of friends who like I fucking love all their music. Like they all have something so cool and unique about them. And I just feel very grateful that like I have been there to see that happen, and I can literally be there and like pick their brains apart and say like, "Oh, how did you do this?" And then I can like apply it to my own shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of just like we bounce off of each other. We talk about music all the fucking time. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish for me because I'm part of a collective too. I feel like yeah, I have all my own like music influences, but like my biggest inspirations are like my friends usually, because I'll take what I want out of music and then kind of apply what they're all doing to like my own stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then when did Fish King start? Because you were there from like the very beginning, right? Because I know with Ruby she came
I
in
was.
later.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. I can't remember the exact year. For some reason, I remember the month, but not the year. It was either June 22 or June 23. I mean, we kind of had realized we wanted to be a collective for a while. We just like didn't have a name for it until like we were just talking in like a group chat one day, and we're like, dude, what are we gonna like call this? And I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Cass who sent the message just Fish Gang. And we sent a couple more messages, but then we went back and we are like, wait, but that's kind of fire. And eventually, we just couldn't think of anything better, so we just
Hmm.
settled on that. And I think it's fucking awesome. I love fish gang like as a word. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, I have to tap more
Yeah,
into the
I
other
think it was
members
June
also.
22 or 23.
Mm-hmm.
22 or 23. I can't remember.
Because like I'm becoming more and more aware of like all the people in there, but I haven't like tapped in properly yet.
Hmm.
So I need to do that.
Yeah, I would say, well, like obviously like listen to all their music. Um, I mean, my Paction, Ruby Red. Do you listen to all their music?
I only know Amaya because they produced like I think it was Tribute for Wick Era, and then I know Paxton's like featured on a lot of your
Oh
stuff.
damn.
So that's like, but I haven't listened to any of their own stuff yet.
So like you just got put on the fish game through Mabel.
Yeah,
That's really interesting. Actually, that's not interesting. A lot of people have said that. But like I don't know. Like how I see it, like people come from all over. So I don't know.
yeah. That's why having a collective was cool though, because like there's like a little web that you've created where now I have the ability to like go find out all these other people
Yeah,
because y'all work together so
yeah.
much.
I mean, there's fucking like I don't know. There's all sorts of connections with all different artists in Fish Gang. So
Yeah. Okay, so the first project of yours that I initially checked out was Paris. So I was very surprised when you were like rapping like all over the like BitWorld series,
yeah.
which I was drawn to because I thought the covers were super cool. And then I found out later that they were actually like fully animated on your like channel also. So like, were you the
Mhm.
one that like animated those, or was that someone else?
I did make those covers. Yeah. Dude, the fucking animation shit I did was so inefficient and like tedious. I don't know why I did this. I definitely could have researched a better way to do it, but I didn't. So what I did is I use a free like graphic design program called Paint.net. You may have heard of it. I got put onto it back in like 2018 and then I just never went back. So yeah, I just did like I think it was like a 64 by 64 grid. Maybe the numbers are different. I don't know. And then I would just use the pencil tool and I would write shit in. And then once I had something I liked, and I would do all the different figures like on different bases and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it again, but this way. And I had like I think if I opened the Paint.net files of these covers, like there would actually be 100 fucking different layers. Because like I changed this thing
Mm-hmm.
and this and this. But yeah, it was like I don't know why the fuck I did it like that, but I did. But it looked good, so you know, just dedication, I guess.
Yeah. I know like usually you have other people do your cover art. So like, do you think you would do your own covers again in the future, or was that like a one time, or I guess like 3 time thing?
Actually, well, I didn't really like reach out to people ever for covers until Paris. Let me double check that actually. Maybe I just spread misinformation. Yeah, like looking at my discography, a lot of the stuff like pre-Paris, like I did that. Yeah, I think I did like all the covers myself except for Castle Doctrine and oh yeah, and Breadbird, but that's
Mm-hmm.
like also Little Shungite's thing too. But yeah, I think I kind of reach out to people more for covers like after Paris because like I'm okay with covers, but I don't trust myself because art and like visual art isn't really my specialty in compared to like music. And like the Paris cover was done by an IRL friend who they literally are so fucking good at art and it's like all they do. They have like 3 different sketchbooks in their backpack every time I see them at school. Like they are the art kid. Shout out Inky Boy at It's Inky Boy on Instagram. Everyone go follow Inky Boy. I cannot vouch for Inky Boy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I just and I this also ties back to what I said earlier about collaborations and stuff, is getting other people's perspectives or takes or whatever I think can kind of elevate the art and make it cooler in a way that I couldn't do myself. So yeah.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say about Bitworld was that I think the project sound exactly like their cover art because it is super like chiptune like production and like the vocals are kind of big crushed also. And
Yeah,
it's so clear that just video games have had a very big influence on those projects. I know you said you're a big Geometry Dash fan earlier. So like,
100%. Yeah.
what are your favorite video games? I feel like that's an essential question.
Dude, okay. Well, first of all, now that you bring up video games, it actually reminds me. I made like the BitWorld tapes like I was all around like COVID time. Those tapes came out like a year later. Like all those songs, I would have this era during COVID where I would literally make like a song a day. Maybe even two songs sometimes. Like I was pumping shit out constantly. I think I have like 2 hours worth of unreleased material from that era. I'm not even kidding. But like I made this music solely so I could listen to it while playing video games, like shooter video games. The main game I played like literally all the time is Phantom Forces. I think I have like rank 160 in that game now. I even wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
But like honestly, I just wanted music that would give me hype and that like would be fun to listen to in like a hype intense environment, I guess. So, yeah. I think my favorite video game ever quite easily goes to Outer Wilds. Have you played Outer Wilds?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, and to everyone listening, play Outer Wilds. It's a game where I can't tell you what it is. Um, I can't tell you much about what it is. It's a space exploration game, and you can only play it once. You can only play it once because it's kind of like a, I don't know what you'd call it, like a
Is it?
detective type
Oh, where
situation.
you if you already know, it kind of ruins it.
Yeah. So like you have to know like, oh, like there's this here and then this here, and eventually you kind of solve like what's going on in your little universe. But like once you know like what to do, you can literally just spawn in and then just do it again in like 10 minutes. So it's like 20 hours worth of gameplay, but then you can literally beat it in 10 minutes if you know what to do. So yeah, and I think it has a lot to say about like life and just existing and the universe and being conscious and alive. It has this very vast kind of theme to it. It feels very open, but also very like lively. And even though like you're kind of an alien-ish species, like it feels very human. And there's a lot of like human aspects to the species that you are. But yeah, Outer Wilds is like the fucking best game ever, and you should play it. I don't know what else to say about it without like kind of spoiling it, but basically you should play it and you should play it until the very end. And you should not give up because it will be worth it. I swear to God, it will be worth it, and you should trust me.
I'll take your word on it. Is it one of those where like if you, because I'm assuming it's like a task based thing, but they don't like tell you what to do. Is it like kind of like that?
Yeah, and you know, I think some people don't like games like that because it's like they get confused really easily. I kind of feel the same way, but like Outer Wilds, it's just like it's worth it. And like also they've had a bunch of playtesters go through it, and I think it's pretty fair how it kind of goes about, and it definitely points you to where you need to go. And I also played it with like someone who played the game before, and she kind of like pointed me like if I was really fucking stuck, like she would tell me what to do, or at least give me hints. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other ones, or is that like the top two you have in your head?
So Outer Wilds, Hollow Knight, huge vouch for Hollow Knight. They just fucking announced that Silksong is coming out this year. I still don't like. I don't know what to
With
believe,
the
man.
3 second clip.
Yeah, the 3 second clip. But like they gave an actual date for it, and they've never done that before. I mean, like Xbox has said like, oh, it's gonna be in the Game Pass, but like that Silksong wasn't announced with Xbox like with an actual date. With this new announcement, like it says pretty clearly 2025 and like this year. So hopefully, hopefully we're getting it. Hopefully we're getting it soon. I will be playing it expeditiously when that shit drops.
Mm-hmm.
I will buy it as soon as it comes out. The money is out of my pocket. It's gone, and I'm playing it, and it's the only thing I'm doing.
Because wasn't it meant to be like DLC initially, and just became like so big that it became its own game?
Yeah, yeah. That's because those motherfuckers at Team Cherry are insane. They're like, oh, I want to make this DLC, but actually, I have this idea, and I have this idea too, and then it just became a fucking game because they have ideas, and I think that's really cool. And I think it's cool. I think the coolest art is made with like with people who have cool ideas and then like also know how to execute them. Like they'll see a blank canvas and they'll go like, this should be here, and then they make it, and it's literally like exactly what they were imagining, because then like it translates to the audience, and that's like really fucking hard to do. So yeah, Team Cherry is like they're the goats.
Yeah, confession. I still haven't beaten Hollow Knight because I got to like the Hollow Knight like fight, and I just can't get past it.
Dude, honestly, like I don't really blame you. People say Hollow Knight is like Dark Souls, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit different. Like the only comparison you can really make is that the bosses are hard. And like, I don't know. That's not even really why I like the game. Um, so yeah. Like I'm not gonna flame you for not beating the final boss. Personally, I don't think it's that hard, but like
Okay, well.
but like you still can appreciate the game for what it is, and I feel like, yeah, like, it's not like a huge part of it,
Yeah, wait, so have
in
you
my
beaten
opinion.
like everything? Because I know there's like a final boss, like after.
I have gotten the what? I don't think it's officially called the true ending, but people call it the true ending. I've gotten that. I haven't like 112% in the game, but I've done a lot of stuff in Hollow Knight. I've done like most of it. I've done the Pantheons, and I will never I will probably never do that shit. Like hell no.
Yeah, I hated the Watcher Knight fight too, where it's like the five like roly poly things. I feel like that's
Yeah.
the most unfair one because they're like
Yeah.
they either go right where you are, or they'll go where you're about to go, and you have no way to tell like where they're landing.
Yeah. I'm also just gonna add Minecraft because like fucking duh, it's Minecraft. And if you say otherwise, you're a fucking bitch, and I don't know what to tell you because Minecraft is literally goated, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's literally a perfect game. I'm also very excited for the Minecraft movie. That shit is gonna be awesome. I mean, it's gonna be like low-key ass, but it's gonna be a cultural event, and that's what
Yeah, but
matters.
it's out now, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah. I'm seeing it tomorrow, so I think it literally just came out like today.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
yeah,
that's a lot that came out today. Wow, because there's
yeah.
like I know it wasn't
Jane
like
dropped,
it's
and the
like two
Minecraft movie
Hollows and like
dropped.
Black Country New Road and Panchico and Minecraft
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
and the Quare interview, which is
yeah,
the most important thing that's happening today. I think.
hmm for sure.
Yeah, would you say Hollow Knight's had a big impact on you? Because I know that's like your not SoundCloud, your like Spotify banner, also.
I'd say like the fucking Crystal Mines area in Hollow Knight was definitely like the exact vibe I was going for with Bitverse. Because Bitverse is like there's this world and this world and this world. Bitverse is definitely like the crystal world kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that imagery fit so perfectly. I had to put it in there. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Hollow Knight, I don't know how it would really affect my art specifically beyond just like vibes. Like I just think Hollow Knight's like cool, and I try to channel like cool, interesting shit energy into my music. So I mean, I guess like maybe.
Mm-hmm. I know you have a sticker of like on your guitar too, right?
Yeah, yeah. My guitar is right here actually. It's here. Shout out to Inky Boy, by the way. The same person who did Paris art also did
Mm-hmm.
this. So, these aren't actually stickers. These are like real, like paintings.
Well, that's sick.
So, yeah, like not a lot of people like notice that. Like people are like, I like your stickers. It's like, dude, these are like illustrations. But yeah, so we have. I mean, I can just give you a breakdown if you want. We have. This is what I like to call Mob Buddy. So, I have two Blahages. Blau Pi, I think is the proper fucking pronunciation. I don't really give a shit. But one of them is called Buddy and one of them is called Friend. Um, and so we just came up with this idea, like, what if Buddy was a mobster and had like a cane and a hat and some beer? So that's that. Angry Birds, because I fucking love Angry Birds. I loved it as a kid. I think it goes so hard still to this day. Splatoon, uh, more Splatoon kind of shit. Hollow Knight, uh, flowers, because why the fuck not? Rubik's Cube. I actually have a Rubik's Cube right here. So there's that. Yeah, and we just thought like, oh, there's a volume. What if there was like lightning come out of here?
Mm-hmm.
So I fucking love this guitar, and it is my prized possession, and I will never change anything about it. I will never. I, I won't say that. I was gonna say I'll never get another electric guitar, but like I low key, because there's only so much that you can do with like a Stratocaster tone. So I think expanding my palette a bit, but still my prized possession.
Mm-hmm. And I see you have like a Foxy like plush in the back now that I'm seeing it. So is FNAF also like a big one for
Yeah.
you?
Um, Dude, I just got that because like it goes hard. But yeah, I mean, I fuck with FNAF for sure.
I never got FNAF. I don't know why. Because I remember in school when it
Oh, I
was
never got either.
like
I just watch it on YouTube. Like, yeah.
just like watch people play it.
hmm
Because I know in my
I think
school
my
people
first
would.
exposure to FNAF was Corey Kenshin. Shout out Corey Kenshin. Corey Kenshin is like my favorite fucking YouTuber ever. Also, I share a birthday with Corey Kenshin, and I think that's like the best like celebrity birthday you could ever have. And I feel so fucking cool that I share a birthday with the Corey Kenshin.
Mm-hmm. For FNAF, I remember like people in my school would play like FNAF on like Scratch and stuff. And and they would always like scream at the jump scares, and they got Scratch banned at my school for a
Yeah.
while because of that.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Shout out to Scratch.
Big
I was
shout
low key
out.
goated at that shit as a kid, but I didn't really go anywhere with it. So
You know, I was on there for a long time. I thought I was gonna go into like coding because of that, but I realized like I
yeah.
like because I was animating with Scratch, which is like super inefficient, so never do
Mhm.
it. But I realized I like the animation part more than the coding part, and that's when I was like, yeah, maybe not coding, maybe not coding.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, moving on. So you've put out a lot of great projects, but I think my personal favorite from you at the moment is your EP Kid Antics, which features the colorful production
Really?
and then passionate vocals that I've come to really love about your work.
hmm
As the title suggests, as kids we get up to a lot of things, whether it's activities in school or just like personal hobbies and like fun things we get up to on our personal time. It's like, how did you spend your free
hmm
time when you were younger?
Like playing video games. Uh, that for sure. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I don't remember most of my childhood. I kind of, I think I blocked it out,
Ooh,
but I don't know if that's, yeah.
okay, maybe bad question. I mean, that was a bad question. Because in my head, I was
hmm
thinking like, I feel like there was just so much like random stuff people do as a kid that they like had like no reason to do, but they like do it anyways. If that makes sense.
I mean, like, I was on the internet a lot. Like, that's kind of like how I was raised. Okay, here's a fact. I used to be Mormon. That's kind of like an interesting thing, but I'm not a fucking Mormon anymore
Yeah.
because I have a lot of gripes with the church and stuff like that. I wouldn't say like, oh, people who practice religion are like bad and I hate people who, I just like me personally, that shit is not for me. And I felt like I couldn't really like accept myself or be myself in that environment. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and a lot of my families actually followed me in leaving the church. My family's in like my immediate family, like my parents and
Mm-hmm.
brother, because they kind of realized they were born into it, but they kind of didn't fuck with it. So
I mean, that's good though, because I know they're like one of the more like judgmental like religions,
yeah,
like
I mean, I live
culturally.
in Minnesota, so it's not as bad up here, but like if you go to Utah, it's like that's where you find all the fucking Mormons, like the hardcore Mormons.
Yeah, because it's like so strict, like how you have to do everything right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I don't think that applies much here, but it was definitely like even if I wasn't like actually directly punished for anything, I felt very judged for being a certain way. Like when I dyed my hair for the first time, I'm like, dude, people at the church are not gonna fuck with this. Or like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's so silly too, because like religion is all about like self acceptance and stuff. Like that's kind of what was like preached sometimes,
Yeah.
and I feel like a lot of religious people don't always,
mhm,
abide by that, which is really frustrating.
Yeah. That's like me personally, like I kind of just developed my morals off of like critically thinking and empathy, I guess. But like, I'm not gonna hold you if you practice religion and your beliefs are a certain way. I just like me personally, that's not really how I think. As long as you're not harming someone else, I don't really give a shit.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of harm in this world, so I do
Yeah,
give a shit pretty often.
I don't know. I'm more like agnostic, I think, because I was raised like Jewish. But
hmm
like I think when I was like 8, I realized like I think I was like praying or so at one time, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like that was when it clicked for me because I was doing it because I thought I was supposed to, and not because I really like thought
Yeah,
any of the things.
dude,
So
I used to think like Jesus could read my thoughts.
No,
I don't know,
no,
and
I had
I'm
that
like,
too actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'd be like, please forgive me. Why? Um, but eventually I realized like I don't really give a shit, you know? I mean, like, if Jesus or whoever the fuck else does exist, then like I feel like they'll understand where I'm coming from with like what I'm doing. Because
Hmm.
like even if I'm not practicing religion, I'm still trying to lead my life with like being a good person and trying to do good shit in the world. So I don't know. I feel like you can't really hate on that, regardless of whoever the fuck is looking down on me, or if there's no one at all. Like I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's always how I've thought of it too, especially because like I always thought this was dumb, but there's definitely not like a right religion or whatever either. Like in my head, like if it is real, like they all just like converge after you die or something. Like that's what I
Yeah.
think. Cause I feel like living your life by like being so afraid of what happens after you die is so like silly. Like we're here
Yeah.
once, dude.
Because
Unless
like,
you're like Buddhist or whatever, or like Hindu, because
mhm.
then you come back later. But
Dude, but like Buddhism goes so hard. I fuck with Buddhism.
I think reincarnation kind of freaks me out because it like makes you think like if I had another life before this that I just can't remember like whatsoever,
Mhm.
and like, I'll do
I
all
mean, I was
this.
thinking more just like the dude, like Buddha.
Oh, Buddha is pretty
That
chill.
motherfucker is chill as fuck. Shout out to Buddha.
I mean, their whole thing is like Zen Buddhism, so like they're chill just like
Yeah.
inherently.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I can still think of how like people get freaked out about like dying because they can't picture like not existing. It's like it's the same thing with like reincarnation for me because I can't picture having like a life before my current one.
Yeah. You can't picture anything before your current life because like that's how memory and like consciousness works.
Well, like I don't know. It's just like the fact that like I don't know how long I'll be here, but like I can do all this stuff, and I might have already
Yeah.
done all of this another time. I'll never know.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. All right, moving on. So I think I could describe a lot of your early work, especially the BitWorld series, as digicore. And a lot of artists from that scene moved on to making like indietronica slash like rock music later on, similar to what you do with projects like
Mhm.
Paris and Kid Antics.
Yeah.
Recently though, it seems like a lot of artists have been making that made that initial switch are kind of re-embracing it again. Like Jane Remover, for example, who dropped Revengeseekerz today, and you did something similar as BitVerse is now out, which is where you're returning to rapping after. Not that you weren't doing, because you're still doing like features and stuff, but like for your
Mhm.
main stuff, you weren't doing that. So I guess why did you decide to return to rap after Paris did so well? And then just what was the process of working on that project like in general?
Dude, doing Bitverse is just like I just felt like doing it low key. Like I don't think there's a lot of rhyme and reason behind my discography and like this goes where I think all the projects are kind of independent of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like Bitverse I just did because I felt like doing it, you know? And I kind of knew I was gonna do that at some point. Like while I was making Paris, I'm like, dude, I'm totally gonna come back to trap eventually. When I was making Kid Addicts, I'm like, I'm totally gonna come back to trap eventually. I just kind of didn't know when. I was actually working on a different project kind of before I started making Bitverse, and then I just kind of got bored of it for a little bit. So I'm like, I'm gonna do a little thing. I mean, I was still kind of working on both at the same time, but like I was making more progress on Bitverse. But that project is still in existence, and I'm still actively working on it. So yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised though because I know like BitWorld C was supposed to be like the last like BitWorld thing. So
Mhm.
like you're bringing back the
I
name, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think how I see it, Bitverse is something very independent of Bitworld. I mean, it has like the same name, but it also doesn't. Like I changed the name, and I changed the name for a reason. It's because Bitverse is kind of an expansion of that. Like Bitworld is like Bitworld is concluded. That's like if it's a game, like that's the game. Like those are all the worlds. It's done. You beat it. But now
It's
Bitverse
like the
is kind of
sequel.
like it's like the sequel. Yeah, it's like the fucking if Bitverse is like the NES, then like Bitverse is like the N64. I don't know. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that's a good comparison, but like,
I think it shows though because I think the production like stepped up a lot in terms of like the sound.
oh yeah, for sure. That's because like the most recent song on Bitworld is on Tape C, and that was made in like October of 2022. So like that shit is old as fuck. Versus BITVERSE, that was literally all made like this year.
But that's a really short like, turnaround time too, then, because it came out in like late March.
Yeah.
Like, would you say you're fast at making music then?
I'm fast at making certain types of music. I think because I'm so experienced in trap music specifically, I can just like pump that shit out. I think trap music is like definitely easier to make. This is not me saying oh like oh trap music is like inferior or whatever. Like I will absolutely fucking respect my roots. I love trap music. I love rap. I love all that kind of shit. But like objectively, I feel like it is easier to make just because it's so fun and it comes like easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could just think of crazy shit left and right. And I've only gotten better at it. Like I feel like I've put so many hours into it. I've upped my game. I've done all that shit. But trying to make more like I guess slower, more introspective, fucking whatever you want to call it type of music. Like you have to think about it more and it's like oh, should I do this and so it kind of feels like you're I don't know it kind of slows you down when you have to think about it more and you have to kind of take a seat back and like yeah.
Think of like how it develops more. Yeah, no, I'd agree.
Hmm.
But it's not worse off for it because it's just like that's why there's so many beat makers out there because it is like very
Yeah.
like fun and accessible.
Hmm. For sure. Yeah, I think like trap music is like so cool in that sense like anyone can do it and they all bring their own kind of like thing to the table and have their own like the ways that their brain works. And it's also like so accessible, which I think is awesome. I don't think we could ever have enough like art in this world. I think getting people's brains out there on a canvas or a audio file, whatever it may be, like I think that is there's never a net negative for
Hmm.
that. And I think everyone like this is just a personal opinion. I think everyone ever like in their entire life should try getting into music or art like at least once. At least do something related to music or art. Because like it's I feel like a very natural part of the human experience. We've been writing and like doing I mean there's fucking cave paintings, right? Like it goes so far back in human existence.
Hmm. Yeah, I will put a caveat to that though, because I think now it's becoming even more accessible with like AI, but it's like does that even count? Like I don't really think so, and that's like a whole argument that's
AI is a
happening
different
now.
thing. I don't fucking like AI. Cause, cause here's the thing with AI is right. You're not putting your own brain into it. I mean, like you're plugging in prompts, but like you're not
There's
doing the
no
fucking. You don't
creative
understand how any
process
of this works.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's the thing that's good about art is that it's human. They're like a human did that shit. That's why I think people should be doing art is because they're all humans and like humans have cool perspectives and shit. AI, like I don't know. And maybe the robots are gonna kill me in 10 years for saying this, but they don't have feelings. At least not like we do. And like I want to share that connection with another human being, not a
Hmm.
fucking machine.
Yeah. I was thinking it's so lame because if we do get to a point where there's like prominent like AI artists, it's like if I were to do this with someone that like makes like AI art, I'd be like, "What's your process?" And they're like, "Oh, I just typed in this thing." It's like that's so like just lame.
Yeah. And it's not as impressive. Like I think there was that XQC quote. He's like talking about AI and he's like, I don't care about the creative process. I just like the end product. I'm like, dude, you're fucking lame. Like, what do you mean you don't care about the creative process? Like,
That's
you're
the
just
whole
like
thing.
you're
Like
like anti-human. Like, I don't understand
I think
what the
art is
fuck
a
you're talking
very
about.
like journey, not destination kind of product. So it's like
Yeah, yeah. Have you watched Look Back?
no, I haven't.
It's exactly about this type of thing. You should totally fucking watch it. I think that movie like made me cry. Like the art and like the music is so fucking beautiful, and it's all about like making art and why we make art, and yeah, like the process, not the end result.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, I noticed that all your like I'll just say bit stuff is all on like a
Mhm.
separate SoundCloud account. So is there like a reason for that?
The reason is I didn't have enough space. That's like the only fucking reason. Um, I would put it right with the rest of my stuff, but unfortunately, my SoundCloud gets so fucking crowded, and the BitFirst just like takes up a lot of space because there's so many tracks that I made that sound like that. Yeah, like there's so much material on all the bit tapes.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, that's like literally my only reason why I did that. I'd prefer to have it right next to everything else, but
yeah. And then I also thought it was cool that you have production credits on like pretty much every song. Too, you have a lot of like co-producers on this, which I feel like you usually don't for your work.
yeah, that kind of links back to just the collaborative piece and also to the like Bitverse trying to be different from like the bit tapes kind of thing. I feel like it's evolved more and as such like yeah, it's kind of had its own different kind of rules and ways that it operates. I think the Bitworld tapes were very much like not super collaborative. It was just kind of a bunch of tracks that I sit down and made. But with Bitverse, I reached out to people and like I really tried to make the tracks so that it was both of our things, and I tried to have it. It was like this kind of person's style, or like oh they'd be good over this, or doing this thing. Like that was kind of a mindset that I had going into Bitverse. It actually started by me making just a trap song because I was bored, and then I'm like, dude, I can make more of these, and then I made more. I'm like, dude, I can make tape out of this, and then the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea, and a part of the reason why I like the idea so much is because there are people in the scene who I've wanted to collaborate with for a long fucking time, and I just haven't had a good opportunity to because their style it isn't kind of like the lane the Paris or Kid Antics or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the fuck is kind of in. So,
Yeah, and then I think it makes sense because I didn't realize how like old BitWorld was like for some of the songs in
mhm,
there. But like in terms of rapping, it's easily like your best stuff, like delivery wise too. It's like a huge step up from like everything else
100%.
before that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's because like I've worked on my voice a shit ton. I think my main gripes with like my earlier projects, earlier meaning like Paris or Kid Antics, literally everything else before. The shit I dropped this year, is just my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is also like I go in depth about this and you did everything, but just like being trans and like realizing this and then realizing like, oh shit, I've literally been like deepening my voice and trying to sound super masculine, and it's permanently like ruined my singing ability. So I've literally spent the last however long trying to undamage my vocal cords. Or not like damaged, but like I see it as damaged because my voice drops so low and I'm just trying to get it
Mm-hmm.
back up and stuff like that.
Yeah. I know it's not the same thing, but my friend Orange, he told me recently that like he used to make his voice like deeper so people would think that he was older like online. And it's like permanently made him like he can hit lower notes than he'd be able to like normally hit because he used to do that for so long.
Yeah, I wish I had that problem. I think like also like voice puberty hit me like fucking hard. Like my voice was so low. Um, I probably still could talk like that. Like I could try right now, but like I've just refrained from doing so because I kind of want that part of my vocal cords to just like diminish and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Which like that's not exactly how that works, but it's kind of how that works. Where like if you don't use a muscle, it gets weaker, and your vocal cords are kind of the same way. So
Yeah, I had a kind of similar thing because I think I was like the first kid to like hit puberty in my middle school. And I like
hmm
walked in like eighth grade on the first day, and my voice was just like so low, and people online would think I was like 30 when I like joined voice calls and stuff. And I
yeah,
think I've made my voice higher over time because I just like hated that feeling. It's like it's not the
yeah,
same thing. I kind of get it.
yeah. I wish I could like. Well, sometimes I wish I could like train my vocal cords with like some of my trans mask friends, or because like clearly we could both benefit from the other person's situation what they got going
Mm-hmm.
on. But it's not that simple because like my voice is also really personal to me. And I think like once I get my voice to like where I want it to be, I might just be like that much more proud of it and happy about it. But at the same time, like it would have been nice to just like have been born with that the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And with like Paris, like how did that project? Because I know that project got like a lot more traction than your other stuff. So like how did that come about?
Honestly, I think the reason for Paris kind of being as popular as it got, Cass was kind of telling me about this when like I was in the horror. She's like, "Dude, I'm so glad you did this because now I have like a solid product to just like put people onto your music. Like oh yeah, you want to listen to Queer? Just listen to this project and you'll kind of get like the gist of it." So I think that was part of it. Is like it's just a good introduction to like who I am and what I can do and what I'm about. So like that just kind of brought eyes to it, and you know because it's like my debut album, and then also just I don't know if you'd call it like unique or like, but I was trying to do something with it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was trying to make it cool. I was trying to make it an event. I was trying to make it like yeah, like a thing. And I think it successfully caught on because of just what I was doing with it artistically. I mean, I did a whole photo shoot and video shoot. Me and my friend went out for like several hours just one evening, and we're just here like we're gonna go to a bunch of fucking locations and shoot this and take this picture and stuff like that. And I think that definitely helped a lot. And also just getting my friend to do art for it. I think, you know, because when you put passion into music, I think people can just kind of tell. So like all the hours that I put into that, like it just kind of brought more eyes to it. And then also like obviously just getting people I know to come and support it, you know, getting people on the project and like all those people like vouching like, oh yeah, like this is a really cool fucking project. That definitely brought eyes to it as well. Yeah, it was so it was such a long creative process, and I feel like me and like everyone else involved just put a lot of effort into to really make it, yeah, like like a really cool thing, and I think people just kind of saw that and could appreciate that.
Yeah, because it definitely feels like its own little like world, and it's so separate from like
Mhm.
what we've done before. I think the mixing is also like really clean on it too.
Really? Well, I appreciate that. I don't know, dude. My mixing is like sometimes I think it's so ass, and I'm like I have to be doing something wrong, just because like the way my music is mastered, it's like constantly clipping. And so I feel like I'm doing something wrong and I'm gonna cause a bunch of people like tinnitus and like ear fatigue with the way I'm going about it. Um, I actually, dude, I have like fucking health anxiety over my ears because like I started developing tinnitus like 2 years ago and I realized like, oh, dude, this is a fucking problem. I need to stop. I went to an ear doctor. They're like, dude, your ears are like totally fine. You're healthy. You're young. Bro, doctors always say that. They're like, you're healthy, you're young, and they like dismiss your problems. But like the studies they did, like there was no ear damage really at all. I could hear things perfectly fine. It was just like I was developing a slight fuzz in one of my ears. And that was just enough to fucking freak me out. And ever since then I've been really conscious about like my listening
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Like I always wear earplugs if I'm in a loud environment. It's like it's just a rule of thumb. Like I always do that no matter what. But yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to find a balance of like obviously like, this sounds good, but then also I don't want it to like yeah.
Yeah. And then I should ask this earlier, but like with guitars in your music, did that come later on in your like music making like journey, or was that like always there? You just weren't always implementing it.
So the guitars in my music, I think I got a guitar. It was like October of 2022, and that was like in the middle of when I was making Paris. Um, this was like around the same time I started getting to break-in, so I'm like, dude, guitar's actually a really fucking cool instrument, and I want like everything to do with this. So then I got a guitar, and I just started plugging away at it, and I got like an interface, so I plugged it into my computer, and I just like I kind of just made it work. So, but like I don't think I'm really professional guitar player, or like I don't know if you I would have even I would even consider myself good. I just like I am able to write riffs and play them, and those are the only things I really even know how to play. But I just apply my musical knowledge to guitar and like, oh, this chord will sound like this, and you know, if I put my finger on this fret or blah, 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 it
Mm-hmm.
just kind of works. So, but yeah, I definitely gotten I've definitely integrated guitar into my music more and more as time has gone on. I think that's kind of reflective of my taste in music, just changing and me being more open to like live instrumentation and stuff like that. Obviously I've been a very digital person for a very long time, but just exposing myself to more um different kinds of stuff. Ever since I got into like more into the music program like at our school, like I do band, I do well yeah, like mainly like band is kind of what's influenced this a lot. I've had a greater appreciation for live performances and the unique intricacies that go into playing an instrument for an audience in a setting where it's like the sound might play differently, it might travel differently, it might, and there's certain setups that you can do in an environment that you can't do, and vice versa. And I think that has helped me just with my musical journey a lot. So yeah, that was kind of a long answer, but
Yeah. Okay. So going back to BitVerse for a little bit.
Mhm.
So one of my favorite songs off there was Spotless, which features Bappy, as for you, Bappy, and
Hell yeah.
Isaacs, who I've now interviewed all of you, so that's pretty cool. But with something in Spotless, it's usually implied that someone's like pretty like good at something, I'd say, right? As we've been
Yeah.
talking about, you're pretty talented at a lot of different things, but everyone has stuff that they want to know how to do or want to be better about, and they just aren't. So what are some skills that you wish you had that you don't right now?
I think honestly this links right back to what I said previously. It's just like live shit. Definitely. I think I'd always be better at doing vocals too. Like that's something I'm trying to get better at constantly. Um, Being surrounded more by like jazz music because I'm in the vocal jazz group at our school. That just kind of showed me like how much shit you can do with an instrument if you really know it like well. And like I just wish I was at like that kind of fucking level. Like the shit people can do if they're like specialized in an instrument and they've studied it for years and years, like it's fucking crazy. Like like jazz pianists who can like improvise a solo and like just fucking pop the fuck off. Like that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And just like I wish I had more capabilities. I had more like opportunities as a musician to be in like different recording environments and having access to different things. Like if you listen to the new Quadeca single, that's kind of like all or like mostly like live instruments. There's like strings and there's like guitars. And as like a DIY musician who does digital shit, it's really hard to get access to that because there's so much like nuance to those kind of instruments and you can't really get a convincing sound unless you're literally like playing those actual instruments. So yeah, I mean like I guess the main thing is just accessibility and yeah, like my abilities and stuff. I feel like I can always there's always more I could do, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and is there anything like non-music related that you wish you knew how to do?
Dude, I never learned how to ride a fucking bike. I feel like most people do that, but like I never did. So there's that. I still can't drive either. I'm a fucking bum. All right, I'll admit it. I don't know how to drive. So there's that. I'm trying to think of like a niche skill. Like what's like niche? Dude, juggling would be like actually fucking
That
fire
would be sick. Yeah.
if you know how to do that. Oh, I know. Dancing. I'm so ass at dancing. I literally like I cannot tell my left foot from my right. You give me like, cause I'm in theater. You give me choreography, it takes me like a million years to fucking learn it. I miss a single day of choreography, I am cooked, and I have, and I am struggling right now. But yeah, and I think a part of that is like, honestly, because like being trans, like most of my life, it wasn't socially acceptable to like dance. That's like a feminine thing, you know. You're gay if you dance. I think that kind of caused me to be like constricted in my body and like insecure and just kind of tight, I guess. So just kind of being able to move around more and have it like look good and feel good and cool while doing it, like
Mm-hmm.
that would be a skill I would like to have. I'd like to definitely get better at that.
I mean, I think we'll definitely get better at the fair to actively do it for like school and stuff, though.
Yeah, I think I've definitely gotten like better, but you know, I still don't think I'm at the level that I could be at or that I wish to be at. It's not even like I wanna be fucking ballet, dude, crazy sophisticated shit. Like just being able to see someone else do something and then like be decent at replicating it. You know, like I cannot do fucking TikTok dances for the life of me. And I feel like because of that, I'm like missing out on a part of the world
Oh yeah, dude, my friend
that,
was trying to teach me how to do like the
yeah.
woah, and I just can't do it.
I think I did it. It's
I,
like the.
it's so simple, but
Am I
I can't
embarrassing
do it.
myself right now?
No,
Dude,
I think you're well. There's like a, is there like a lead up to it, and then you do it. I feel like you're just doing like
I
this.
shouldn't have done this, bro. This is like blackmail. You're gonna post this, and I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Well, I'm gonna look this up actually. Dude, all the comments are gonna be calling us like white. Okay. I kind of it's like a
Yeah, there's more of a build up to
thing,
it. Yeah.
but it's you
Wait,
don't
wait,
always hit it like this. Like you can do like a
yeah, well, there's like you can do like a. There's like.
I'm cooked. It's over.
We're both cooked. It's okay.
We're ending the interview right now.
Yeah, like my hand-eye coordination is just not good.
Don't
So
include
like,
this.
no, this staying in. But like, or like the thing where people do like this and they go like, I think I got it. Actually, I think I got it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What the fuck are you doing? What is that? Wait.
No, it's the like, yeah. Oh no, I did do it. I did do it properly. But like you like combine your
Is it your
fingers.
middle finger?
You have them wiggling like. Where's the other one?
Now, why the fuck would you do that? Are you trolling me right now?
No,
What is this supposed to mean?
no.
Like,
This
what
is
is
like
this?
a. I think I'm doing it wrong. It's yeah, I am doing it wrong. It's supposed to be the other way. But like you have like one finger this way, one finger the other way, but they're like linked. Wait.
But why would you need to do this? Like, what is this
Well, there's
thing?
no. It's just like it's a thing people can do, and I'll see them do it, and I'll try doing
It's a
it,
thing people can do.
and I can't do
Dude,
it.
there's a lot of things that people can do. I can pick this up and I can drop it.
I know, but like we all have the same hands though. So it's like the fact that I can't do it is like
Actually, no, we don't all have the same hands. Some people are like double jointed and they can do like freaky weird shit.
that is true.
And some people don't have a joint. I've seen pictures of like someone's hands like their thumb is literally one joint. They can only do like this. That's
Yeah.
fucking like weird.
I know I met someone where they can like make one of their fingers like go limp, and it'll just like that.
Oh, dude, we're getting into like freaky territory, dude. You start looking at this kind of shit, it like, it's unsettling. It's unsettling, man.
Yeah, like, I met a guy recently where he can make like a snake head with his hands, and it has like a moving tongue and stuff.
A tongue, bro. This is what I'm talking about. This shit is too freaky. Wait, hold on. I got it. I got it.
Wait,
I got this
Yeah.
little guy. Do you see him?
yeah, yeah, like that.
So this is the
yeah, it's
mouth.
like that. Yeah.
This is the eyes. My friend put me onto this. It took me so long to learn it, but I'm so proud of myself. Maybe this isn't the best example, but like.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, but it's that. Except there's a tongue inside the mouth that he can also move.
Yeah.
Just like blow my mind, because my little thing that I show people sometimes is that I can make like a house with my hands. But it's literally just you just go like that. That's it. And he pulled that out, and it's like, it's like the business people thing, but like,
Man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay. Let's move on, man.
yeah.
I'm done with this shit.
Okay, wait. There is one thing my friend was telling me this recently, and it kind of freaked me out. So I think you have to hear it now. But like, isn't it weird that like we can picture like having joints in our body that aren't there? Like, imagine two arms that are like on your shoulders right now that like don't exist, but you can picture like how they would move, right?
Yeah. Wait, actually, I would want that low key. Cause then I would dedicate my life to drumming, and I'd be like world famous.
Wait, if you had like the marching band drums, you can do all of them at the same time.
Yeah, except actually no, you would get scoliosis like instantly if you did that shit. Cause like that shit is so heavy. I marched bass drum, and like they would warn us like you have to stand like this, or your back is gonna be like melted, and you're gonna like be a hunchback for the rest of your life, and your spine is gonna be fucking twisted in all sorts of messed up ways. You're gonna look like the dude from Stranger Things. So, yeah, like I feel like doing that is probably like not good. But hey, you have extra arms. Maybe you have extra back strength. I don't know, man.
I think so. Although now that you're saying that, I'm kind of confused because I had a friend in high school that was like 5 foot, like on the dot, and they played bass drum. I mean, we think the wrong thing, but it was like the huge one where it's
What
like
number did they
up, where it's like
play?
upright.
A big one?
Yeah,
Well, all the bass drums are upright.
or maybe I'm thinking the wrong term, or maybe it's bass drum, but it's just like
Quad? Or
it's
the people call it different
it's
things.
it's
Some
one
people call it the
singular
tenors.
drum, but they'd
One
have to
single drum.
like do like that.
Yeah, that's the bass drum.
Okay,
The bass
yeah,
drum's like, yeah.
but it's like almost like half their size, like no more than that. Yeah, it's like how does that not
If
like kill them to do that?
if you know the proper posture, I think you can do it. You just have to build up endurance and like core strength and shit. You
Hmm.
just have to do it the right way. You have to be very conscious of what you're doing at all times. I mean, that's the whole fucking thing of marching band is like being so much scrutiny for like tiny little details. That's like the whole thing. And if you see like DCI, those motherfuckers are fucking insane. I love DCI. I love watching those clips because it's like the coolest thing ever. It's like the peak of live musical achievement. Like if you've seen Blue Coats 2024, changes everything. Like that show is like, it's just as an example, is so full of like a bunch of different moving parts at the same time. Um, if you want to like watch marching band or you're interested in like just cool live performances, watch that shit expeditiously. Watch that shit right now. It's literally like amazing.
Yeah, because I have so many friends that were marching band in high school. It's just like a whole world that I
Yeah.
was never like part of, even though I was doing music, because I just couldn't do any of the like the live ones like that.
I miss marching band, dude. I think I want to like do marching band after high school, honestly. Just 'cause like it was so crucial to me as like a musician. And some people like absolutely hate it and they're like, I regret doing that and I'll never do it again. I think it kind of depends on what kind of environment you're in. Like everyone I knew there gave a shit about what they were doing. Well, I won't say everyone, but like most people like gave a shit about what they were doing and were very dedicated musicians. I just had a similar mindset and approach to what they're doing. And I think it just gave me an environment where I could just do this thing. I do what I'm told and I follow directions like to a T and then I get told I'm really fucking good for it. And like I don't know, I just think that's like awesome. Like I love playing music and playing it right and just feeling cool and awesome
Hmm.
and like I'm a part of something.
Yeah, I know that was a big part too, because community is such a thing in marching band. Because y'all have to be like after
Mhm.
school for like 20 hours, but you're all together doing the same thing, and you're going
Yeah.
on like
I
trips
mean
and
that goes
stuff.
for like every extracurricular activity. Like I feel like marching band is more like a sport than it is like music. I mean, it's both, but I would argue like marching band is a fucking sport. Like that's just like a part of the nature of how it works and stuff like that.
I think part of what discouraged me from getting into it is that I'm from Texas, and like the summers are so hot here that I would just not want to be doing that outside all summer.
Bro, you're in fucking Texas has like the best high school marching bands like ever. Like they are known for like having the most crazy shows and being high schoolers and it's like you would think this is DCI. Man, if I were you, I would have done that shit like no matter what because being a part of something like that would have been like fucking crazy. But hey, like I also understand it being so hot. Like yeah.
Yeah, it was like that, and some people get like yelled at or like one little thing. It's like I can't handle that, especially like over and
Yeah,
over and over
I
again
think
too.
also honestly like I was just in a really positive environment. Like the staff were really nice and understanding. So it could be different like elsewhere,
Yeah,
but
no, I
I feel
think
like
I
my
think band at my school
school
was like a
was
mess. Like they
great,
had a different director like every year because they would leave at the end of the year and go to a different school.
bro. My director is fucking crazy. He does like, well, first of all, he's the band director for the whole school, so he does like band during the day, and then he also does marching band, and he also does like he directs like tech for the theater shit, and like I don't know, like leads a bunch of yeah, like extracurricular fucking whatever. I swear to God, this guy like never leaves the school building. Like some of us will say like, oh yeah, he slept here, like he slept here tonight. He did not go back home.
Yeah, I know funding was an issue too. Like I think my school was like super broke for band by like senior year. My friend just quit entirely because they weren't like putting up with it anymore.
Really? Maybe it's a misconception then that Texas has, and also just could be because like Texas is a huge fucking
Yeah,
state.
no, like
That
Texas
could
is
also
bigger than
be
some
it.
countries, so like
Yeah, but like obviously you're gonna get more from it than others because like there's just more things in Texas.
yeah. So I know you said marching band is a sport, but I think we should play a game right now because
Oh,
in these interviews I like to play rock paper scissors with the guest that I have on. And in the last interview,
oh, I
I
forgot about this. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was the
yeah.
ex person that got interviewed in the last one that came out, and I won mine, so I gotta keep my streak going.
Okay,
Um,
I
and
will warn you. And okay, this this could have changed, but as a kid, I was fucking goated at rock paper scissors.
ooh,
This is like my
okay,
thing. Yeah, I mean, I could be rusty. For some reason, as a kid, I was like convinced that I was like I could read someone else's mind when playing rock paper scissors. Like, we would do the thing, and I would be like, "Yeah, I know what you're gonna do," and I would like play it like with my mom just a ton, just to prove a point. And for some reason, like whatever I was doing at the time worked. Maybe I had psychic powers and then I lost it. I don't know. But somehow I had rock, paper, scissors figured out. So, yeah.
yeah, but you gotta do it for Fish Gang though, because I think Ruby lost when we did hers like a while back, so
Okay.
you
I
gotta
am
get on the
adventure
map.
Mabel. I got you.
Okay, so it's
Okay, so
best two out
how are
of
we gonna do
three,
this?
and then
2 out of 3.
and
Okay.
then close your eyes, just like wait and see with the camera and whatever.
Okay. Are you counting?
Yeah, so rock,
I got you.
paper, scissors, shoot. You might be onto something. You might be onto something.
Okay.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So we're
It all
tied.
comes down to this.
We're
It all
tied.
comes down to this.
Okay, okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Hmm.
This is just how this whole thing is gonna go. We're just gonna keep getting the same one the whole time.
That I think my record has been 8 in a row on these
Hmm.
like the same move over and over
Really?
again.
That's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Yeah, like
Okay. Well,
I feel like I'm gonna lose
attention.
though. That's about how I'm getting, but we'll see. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I fucking beat you. I got you. Got you. You're gone. There goes your fucking streak, bitch. It's gone. I defeated you. I'm the goat.
You
I
know
was the goat all along. I never lost my sauce.
you know what though? You saying that had me thinking like had me going against what my instinct was gonna be. Cause like well maybe she knows. And I think that fucked me over.
Yeah.
You got on my
Yeah.
head.
That's what it is. It's like poker. You gotta fuck with your opponent's head. You gotta get into their brain.
Yeah,
Fucking weird shit.
So Fish Gang on the map now for rock, paper, scissors.
You gotta interview other people from FISHGANG.
I do. There's people I've had in mind. I just haven't like tapped in yet, so I need to do that.
But
Yeah.
well, I will be there. I'll be watching.
Okay. Okay.
I can't believe I beat you, dude. I'm like, this is like the highlight of my day.
Okay. Going back to Paris. So one of my favorite songs from that was Frustration.x, and everyone has things they struggle with and aren't great at. So, what are some times that you've been like frustrated with something?
Dude, I struggle with school so fucking much. Like, I and like I'm neurodivergent as hell. Like, I have ADHD 100%. Like, um, all that shit. So, like, participating in school has always been a challenge for me. And just like getting new assignments and it's just like all busy work and it just like pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like music comes easily to me because I'm passionate about it and like it's just easy for me to engage with the material and do it. But yeah, like doing school and like doing core classes and shit, like classes that I didn't choose to take, like that has been like an issue for me for a while. And it's funny because like I get good grades, I'm a good student. I just like don't usually like the work that I do. But I'd say I have gotten better at it. And honestly, like I took medicine, I took like medications for ADHD for a while, but it would like cause me like physical like issues. Like
Yeah.
I would get like stomach aches. My head would hurt. Like I couldn't do it, so I got off that shit. But I think what helped me is just being conscious of my thought patterns and shit, like my cognitive shit. For some reason, like positive affirmation shit. I mean, as corny as it sounds, or not corny, but I don't know. Like you hear that and it's like, dude, like everyone says that. That's so like fucking. But like no, actually, like try it. Like you in assignment and just like pay attention like what you're thinking and like how it affects what you're doing. Because if I can actually just get myself to engage with what's going on and try and be passionate about it and think like, oh yeah, maybe this is cool. Like English, like yeah, like doing English fucking pisses me off sometimes. But reread a book and like I was trying to think to myself like, dude, this stuff going on in this book is actually really fucking cool. You know, and I think that's definitely like changed a lot over time. Just trying to change my perspective on the work that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had that mindset with like studying, because when I was in high school, I was like a Quizlet demon for a long time.
Yeah.
Like that's how I would study. Um, and like I was really good at it, but I realized in senior year it's like this is kind of boring though, and it doesn't really stick with me that much. But I took psych, and our teacher was talking about like I forget what the term was, but
I'm
it's
literally
like
taking psych right now. That's actually insane.
okay, so have you learned of the thing where like you help remember stuff better when you like pair it like with an image in your head and whatever?
I've not heard of this. I mean like I just so my school has like trimesters. We
Mm-hmm.
go one, two, three trimesters. I'm on the third trimester right now. So we literally like just started in psych. So I we haven't gotten to that yet. I'm sure we will though.
Okay, I guess I'm spoiling it, but basically, like this like
How could you?
revolutionized how I study, because we had a whole like unit on like retention and stuff, and it's like we would be given like words and they have to think of like a silly like thing to like associate it with. For example, like we were given like a list of numbers, and we had like a word that was paired with like each number, and you had to think of something to remember it by. I think one of them that I still remember to this day, it was like for 9 the word was like ice cream, I think. And Chief Keef has a song called like Ice Cream Man, so I was just picturing him like running after an ice cream truck in my head, and that's how I remember 9 is ice cream.
That's fucking awesome.
So it's stuff like that where it makes it like so much more fun. I mean, my friends would like hang out after class to study and
Mhm.
just come up with like silly terms and like images for all of the like vocab that we had to learn. And it like I did so good in
Yeah.
that class because of that, and it made it fun.
Mhm.
So yeah, because like I'm pretty sure I have ADHD too, but I'm not like tested or anything. And it's like
Yeah. Dude, testing, from what I've heard, costs like a shit ton of money. And like, I don't know. I think it's kind of fucked up because like people could learn a lot about themselves if they have like proper treatment and shit. But
mm,
that's just like healthcare in general. Like, let's be honest. Like,
yeah,
especially in this country, there's so much shit going on in this country right now. Like, I don't need to remind you.
yeah.
I think we're all very aware.
But it's like you were saying though, it's like if I don't really want to do it, like it will get done, but it's always at the last
Mhm.
possible like moment, and it just happens like
Yeah.
every time, and it's so stressful for no reason. I hate that it's like that. So I think if
Yeah.
I can make it more fun for myself, that would definitely help.
hmm
Is there like a particular subject that you're like bad with? 'Cause I know math was always my like weakest one.
Honestly, dude, for me, math was like I was really good at math. In fact, I was so good that they put me in like a advanced class. Um, I kind of had this thing where it's like I have the talent but no passion with math. Like I never really liked doing math all that much, but I understood it really well. So I basically got all my math credits in like freshman year, and I never took a math class ever again. Um, so there's that. Um, honestly, I would say like honestly, I kind of fucking suck at science. Like I've always struggled with science and just because it's so I, like obviously science is cool as a subject and like people should totally get into it and it's very important to the world. But me personally, like I just kind of have a vendetta against it because it's just like in school it's so boring and mind numbing and I don't know. I could never really get myself to be interested
I feel like there's way more to
in
learn with
working in
science too,
class.
but it's like you can't really like
Yeah,
common sense it.
Yeah. And like I don't know, with science, it's like my teachers were I think the most like boring teachers I've ever had were in science.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, one time I had pneumonia for like 2 weeks. Tell me why this old ass science teacher, I come back, I come to his class, I'm like, hey, I had pneumonia for 2 weeks. I was like struggling to breathe. I was bedridden. I could not get out of bed. I couldn't make myself food. It took me like 2 hours to get from like my bed to the living room. And like, I would just really like if you excuse like these like 2 or 3 assignments. And he looked me dead in my eyes and he said no. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck you mean no? And so I have beef with that guy, but
Mm-hmm.
like I just didn't do those assignments because like fuck no, why would I do that? Like when you clearly did not listen to me or understand me at all. And it didn't really have an impact on my grade. I was gonna get like a counselor to like just excuse it or like try and talk to him, but it didn't impact my grade, so I just like, dude, it's not fucking worth it. Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah. It's crazy to say about math because, like, I think since like eighth grade, like when I was taking algebra, I was like, how
Mhm.
am I supposed to do this? And then it was just that, but like worse and worse every year until I was in like calculus somehow senior year. It was like, why am I here?
Yeah,
Because I don't understand anything. And I think I would like barely pass all the tests for that. And like that's the only class I've ever gotten like a B in was like that in pre-cal. Because I had the same teachers for both.
mhm.
But I think it was my fault, not the teachers. But like I just
Yeah,
can't. I can't do math.
yeah. And it's like I feel like that's your prerogative, right? Like some people are like better at other things than others, and like the way school is set up just doesn't really benefit that.
Yeah, I think I had what you had with math was for English because I was always really good at it, but I didn't care about it. But it just
Hmm.
naturally was like something I never had an issue with. Moving on though. So, as you mentioned earlier, you're involved in like theater and marching band and like the jazz vocal group and all this other stuff, right? Initially, I only
Hmm.
had theater, but now I know more things. I didn't just like go into your brain and find that out. Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like all that really helps like put yourself out there as a performer. So like, how would you say like that performance aspect has like helped impact like your own music?
I think definitely like vocally for sure has impacted me a lot. Like I think being in theater just made me conscious of enunciating words and how important that is. Like I'm pretty sure you would agree that the vocals and like the lyrics on BitVerse are way more understandable than like past things.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's because I was very intentional about that. I paid attention to the consonants and like my vocals are so like nuanced. It's a very specific way I go about it. If you listen to them, like you think I just like press play and started getting the beat. Dude, every line is like three different takes mended into one. I'm very meticulous about my vocal takes and making sure everything is perfect in exactly the way I envision it in my head. And so like I think being in those environments just made me more conscious of different musical aspects that I don't think you would really pay attention to otherwise. And I think that's what makes my music so unique, like the way I approach trap is because like I can apply that knowledge to like what I'm doing and that kind of shit. I think also like, outside of vocals, being in marching band, like being in a drum line, dude, that's gonna instantly like make your intuition for like what makes a drum beat groovy and that kind of shit like just way better. And I think that's why like the drums on Bitverse are so like meticulous and they're designed to be a very certain way
Mm-hmm.
and have this certain groove to them is because I was very conscious about like that just because I have this kind of intuition. Like if you listen to Protocol, the song I made with D, like you listen to like the snare shit, it's like it's all like if you listen to that, like just think about how like it kind of sounds like a drum line because that's like low key what I was thinking. So yeah, there's that, and I think just in general like yeah, like doing extracurriculars, yeah, like I just apply it to my performance and like my deliveries and all the sorts of nuance that goes with carrying on a piece of music, an instrumental, vocal, all that shit.
Yeah, and like I feel like it would make doing a show at some point in your life like so much easier also because you're already so used to like performing in front of other people because that's like a
Yeah.
huge anxiety for some
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, one of my resolutions this year was to do a live show. I've been eyeing some venues that I could potentially go to that are relatively near me. And I think if you know home video, it's like the annual
Yeah.
URL fest that Cast does. I think this year I'm gonna shoot my home video set. It's gonna be another live set, and it's gonna be at like a public venue that like anyone in probably the Minneapolis area could go to. I have no idea. I haven't reached out to anyone yet, but this is just been things I've been thinking about. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled, especially if you know me and you're from Minnesota, because that's my state. Shout out Minnesota. Shout out Tim Waltz. Shout out fucking yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, but I didn't realize until I did the Ashes interview that like you have to pitch yourself to venues if you're not like a big artist to get like a show there,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah,
like
it's
makes sense, but
definitely
it's the whole
like
process.
it is a whole process for sure.
Okay, and then at the start of this year, you did everything, which is super beautiful and impressive song that builds on the sounds that you're doing with Paris and Kid Antics. So I was really
Mhm.
surprised initially when you dropped BitVerse because I was like, I thought we were doing this. What's going on? So you clearly have so much more planned for this year.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
so what are your plans for 2025 as of right now?
I would like to at least start the rollout for LP2. I don't know if I'll put it out this year. I'd like to like fucking, once I graduate, my summer is gonna be pretty open. So I'll probably just be in my room literally fucking constantly
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be locking on music. But if I don't finish it this year, I want to at least put out like a single or two from it and start, having my visuals kind of reflect what I'm going to be doing for that next project.
Yeah. Well, excited for that. And are you like planning on going to college at all?
Uh, I still, and I know I should be doing this, but I still do not know for sure what college I'm gonna go to. I haven't really been super far through the process yet. I've been eyeing a few, but I don't have like any that yeah. I have been talking to some people, like there's some college help people at my school, so I've been in touch with them and they've been helping me like make a good decision. I've been talking to like the music directors, like the choir band directors, because they were telling me like, dude, you should totally go into music like in college. I'm like, okay, bet. Like, how am I gonna do that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of in the midst of trying to figure that out. But I definitely wanna, hopefully, I mean, ideally, right? Ideal life, I'm making a full-time living off of this shit. I don't want to be like super fucking famous. Hell no. Like, I do not want to be Taylor Swift. I think I would fucking kill myself. But like having a decent enough audience where I can support myself and be financially stable and just have a good life, but then also not people like invading my life literally
Yeah.
constantly. Like that, I think that's like ideal for me. I just want to leave somewhat of an impact on a niche amount of people's lives.
I saw recently like Dollywood One posted that she's never had like work a job or anything. She only has like I think like 80K listeners or so. So it's like it's definitely insane like possible to like have that and not really be like recognized like in public or anything.
Yeah, shout out to fucking Dollywood. I love Dollywood. That was one of my main inspirations for BitVerse for sure was her latest tape from 2024.
Mm-hmm.
That is like maybe one of my favorite like rage fucking projects ever. That and like obviously Revengeseekerz now, but we gotta let that shit breathe still
Mm-hmm.
because it just came out today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because like I've been trying to figure out like because I'm in music too, and it's like how does making that like as for doing that for a living, how does that work? Because especially if it's just like streaming revenue, like that is like you have to get so many streams to make like a living wage off of that.
yeah, and you have to do like because streams, from what I've heard from people, like streams is not the way you make money as a musician.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
really, the
merch
best
and
way you're gonna
like
make money
features
is yeah,
and
merch, that kind of shit. Yeah.
shows.
Mhm.
But you're getting that started this year, hopefully. So,
Hopefully, we'll see what happens. I'm definitely trying to get bigger and better every year, so I'm just trying to up my game, do what I'm passionate about, and yeah, and I'm grateful for all the people that stick around and fuck with what I'm doing, and I just want to give the people some good shit to be happy about.
yeah. And I think that brings us to a good closing point as well. Because as the episode comes to a close, Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Dude, I mean, like, I think the first person that comes to mind, and I think I'll always say this, is Ruby Red. Um, I mean, like, they're a part of my art collective, and I just like, I really fuck with what they're doing. I always have, you know. So I think I have to say Ruby Red because yeah,
Is there anyone else, or is it just Ruby for right now?
dude, like I could probably think of more. Um, Honestly, like all the people I worked with on Bitverse, like there's a reason I collabed with them. I think they're really fucking cool, and I've always wanted to make music with them, and Bitverse was just like the perfect opportunity to do that. Yeah, shout out everyone in Fish Gang at large. Shout out people at like fucking socializing like Nishith, Quadrenal. Shout out people like at Reasonable Records, Ellie Bell, fucking you know, shout out this fucking community. There's some cool people in here. There's some people that are not so cool, but there's a lot of people who are really cool and are doing really cool shit. So yeah, I mean, I have so much love for the music, and I'm so passionate about everything going on, and I wish the best for everyone who fucks with me and who, you know, is just cares about the same stuff that I do. You know, we all love the music. We all yeah. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah. All right. Well, shout out all those people, and
Yeah.
shout out Quare. Thank you so
Hey,
much for
thank
doing this.
you.
I've been wanting
Thank
to do
you for
this
having
for
me.
a while, and I figured that now that Bitverse is out, now is like the perfect
Yeah.
time to do it. So it's glad we got to
Yeah.
make this happen.
I hope it was fun. I hope it was entertaining. I was trying my best. Sometimes I felt like I was being a little boring, but hopefully people like it. I'm very excited. I'm very glad you had me on, and yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Of course. Yeah. All of her links in the description down below. So if you are not familiar with Quare and you're all the way at the end of the interview for some reason, go do that. What are you doing? I'll also have three of my favorite Quare songs in the Hidden Driveway playlist that are on Spotify and SoundCloud. So if you want like a little intro to what she does, that'll be there too. And I guess is there anything else that you want to say?
Not really, dude. Just shout out to the music. Shout out to fucking the world. Shout out trans people. I don't know.
Big shout out. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Amu. This has been the Hidden Driveway Show. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.